Good morning, everybody. High Mileage Rider here, and today we are going to Riverside Yamaha, Suzuki, Honda for Yamaha Test Ride Days. Today we are going to test ride a 2024 Yamaha XSR 900. So if you're interested in this bike, or if you're interested in a middleweight naked bike, come and join us. This bike has an 889cc inline 3-cylinder motor. It puts out 115 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and 65 foot-pounds of torque at 8,500 RPM. This bike has a 6-speed chain final drive, weighs 192 kilos or 425 pounds. Seat height is 31.9 inches or 810 millimeters. Fuel tank is 3.7 gallons or 14 liters. Maintenance service intervals are every 6,000 K, and valve services are every 42,000 kilometers. This bike has dual front discs up front, 298 millimeters, and a single in the rear, 245 millimeter. The front tire is a 120/70 ZR17. The rear tire is a 180/55 ZR17. The front suspension has 5.1 inches of travel, and the rear has 5.4. This bike comes with a 3.5-inch color TFT. It has 6-axis IMU with rider aids, traction control, slide control, lift control, and brake control. It has switchable engine modes, as you can see I'm doing here. Mode 1 is full power. Mode 2 and 3 are full power with a softer throttle response. Mode 4 cuts power for bad riding conditions. This bike is also equipped with a quick shifter. This bike has all LED lighting. For 2024, it now has a lowered head pipe position, unique subframe, lowered seat height, and a lengthened swing arm. The standard warranty is 1 year, but you do have the ability to extend it if you choose.
Okay, let's start this puppy up. Very easy to put into neutral. So for the purposes of this test ride, I have selected traction control mode 1 and driver mode 2. From what I've read online, driver mode 1 can be a little abrupt on the throttle, and driver mode 2 still gives you full power, but it's just a little bit smoother on the throttle. Wow, this is set so that the clutch pull is very far out. It is adjustable, and it is a cable clutch. Very nice LED. It is a basic LED. It is color. Not as nice as some of the other ones I've seen, such as on the KTMs and on the Suzukis, but I think that's because it shares double duty. I believe it is the same TFT used on the MT-09. But it works well, everything is visible. I've got my RPMs, my speed. It shows that the quick shifter is an up and down. I've got my fuel gauge, my distance till empty, my traction control mode, my drive mode, the time, and then of course your setting button. You could go through the settings with the wheel, the jog wheel down here, the button up here, adjust the traction control, and then this is your mode button. I've already preset it for what I wanted. Cruise control here, you press the middle to turn it on, and then set and resume. Nice having it all on the clutch side. Horn, hazards, turn signal. As I said, it is a cable clutch. Initial impressions of the riding position is that the riding position is quite forward. And of course, the 900 XSR, the XSR stands for Extreme Street Racing. So this is a sportier bike, naked bike, middleweight size. One of the changes that they've made to this bike over the evolution of it from 2021, 2022 up till now is they made the forks a little bit shorter. They moved down the head tube, the stock tube, and moved the handlebars down, so you are leaning a little bit more forward with the design of this bike in a racing position. But I don't find it uncomfortable to reach to the bars. I mean, for all-day comfort on the highway, I would obviously like it much higher. But for what it is, what it's meant for, it's pretty good. As you can see, we have bar end mirrors, which work pretty well, actually. I don't have any of my shoulders in the mirrors, and I can see what's behind me quite well. I think that if the mirrors were up higher, that it would be a little bit better for visualization, but I understand that they're going for the look, that retro styling look. When I think of bar end mirrors, I always think of Triumphs. A little bit of construction to go through here, and we will see you on the highway. As I said, it's quite windy today. You can see the flag there whipping in the wind. Just about to get out onto the highway here. Seating position is what I would expect for a naked, sportish bike. My knees are a little more bent. My feet pegs are a little bit higher. The pegs are adjustable on this bike. They do go down by ½ an inch if you choose to. Of course, there's no wind protection. There's no wind screen. This is a naked bike. Oh, that motor is beautiful. The sound of the motor, you won't hear it because of the wind, but it has a wonderful exhaust note. As I was saying, it's a 6-speed chain final drive, inline triple. Even though there is no wind protection per se, the wind isn't bad. It hits me squarely in the chest and the shoulders. Similar to a couple of other bikes I've ridden, surprisingly, I have no bobbling on my helmet. The wind flow over my helmet is quite nice, and I am wearing an adventure helmet with a peak. And I find at 90, 100 kilometers an hour, there is no wind bobbling. The seat is unfortunately a plank. It is not comfortable at all. I don't know if in the accessory catalog they have a comfort touring saddle, but you could also take it if you have an upholstery person you use in town. Here I use Volker's upholstery, and you could probably get some gel or some more foam inserted into it, but still be able to keep the retro look. But yeah, it's flat as a board and not comfortable at all. As I said, the reach to the pegs is what you would expect in this class of bike. The pegs do go down by ½ an inch. I think I said that already, sorry. The pegs are also a little bit more rearward on the bike than other naked bikes that I have ridden, to add to the sportiness. The seat is canted forward, and as I said, everything on the front end of the bike is lower. Tracks very nicely in corners. Oh, that motor's got some zip. Whee! Oh my gosh. You could see the smile in my helmet. This is a heck of a motor. The transmission is beautiful. It's unfortunate I do see myself still reaching for the clutch. This has an up and down quick shifter, so right now I'll make a mental note to start using the quick shifter more to see what it's like. So here we are at 110. That is the speed limit in Alberta highways. 6th gear, about 4,200 RPM. Red line is, it looks like 10.5, 11,000 roughly. Yeah, it's amazing. The wind flow, the wind management over this bike is actually quite good. At highway speeds, the bar end mirrors are nice and stable, not bouncing at all. So let's see, we've talked about the seating position, the pegs, the reach to the bars, the design of the front end being a little bit more sporty, the bar end mirrors, the wind protection. And just to remind everyone, I am 6 feet tall, 212 pounds. I have a 34-inch inseam. Very easily able to flat foot this bike. I gave you all the specs at the beginning before the ride started. We got this little touches to make this look more retro with the XSR badging on the top clamp there, the blacked out front reservoir. Yeah, every little input you give this bike, it responds instantly. There's a rumor that Yamaha might be potentially changing the Super Tenere, the bike I have, into a Tenere 900 and using this triple motor in it. And I haven't ridden on with this motor in a while, but it is a nice motor. I love my parallel twin motor, don't get me wrong, but this inline triple is really nice. The seat is long enough that you could put a passenger on there. There are passenger pegs. I wouldn't do it for long distances, but for just around town, it'll work perfectly fine. As I mentioned earlier, we have the adjustable front and rear suspension, all LED lighting, including turn signals, of course. I'll put the price of the bike in the video here. Price varies depending on where you're buying it. This bike will easily do everything you need it to do. Commuting. If you're in the States and you're in a state where you can lane split, you might have to watch out. These bar end mirrors might make it a little tougher to do lane splitting. But I'm sure if you were somewhere where you wanted to do that, if it was an issue, you could always take these off and put regular mirrors on, I'm sure. This down quick shifter is quite nice. I like it. And just love the sound of this motor. Alright, let's have a little fun. Woo! This bike wants to go. This quick shifter is really nice. Works beautifully both up and down. Ooh, a little bit more wind now coming from our right to our left, as you can see by the lean of the people in front of me. Nice suspension feel going over bumps over those railroad tracks. Again, I've left it set wherever the last person had it, but it is adjustable for rebound and dampening. Really nice manners at slow speed, like what would be in the city. As we ride a little bit more, given that I'm an older, more decrepit rider, this knee bend would definitely wear on me. Can't say this enough though, what a beautiful motor this has. Yeah, so this is a really, really nice motorcycle. Like any motorcycle, when I'm looking at one and test riding it and thinking about my first impressions, I always think about what are the pros and cons if I own a motorcycle like this. And of course, these are pros and cons for me. You may have a different opinion, but for me, if we look at the con side first, it'll have to be this saddle. This saddle is rubbish. It's horrible. So uncomfortable. But I'm sure there is either an aftermarket product you could get, or you could, as I say, find an upholstery person to give it some comfort. And then only for me, the knee bend would really wear on me after a while. A little bit more than what I'm comfortable with. For the pros, though, on this motorcycle, there are so many. Number one pro for me has got to be this motor. This motor is amazing, and it's kind of a Jekyll Hyde thing. It is wonderful. Here we are at 50, 60 kilometers an hour. It's performing beautifully. It's nice and relaxed. You get it on the highway and you want to give her the beans and it just wants to go. Second pro for this bike would be this quick shifter. This quick shifter is really nice. Up and down quick shifter. And then I guess my third thing would be the exhaust note. The exhaust note is awesome on this motorcycle. I love it. I love the sound of this inline triple. So if you're in the mood to look for a middleweight naked sport bike, I would highly recommend that you consider this Yamaha XSR 900. For the money, for what you get, this is a great motorcycle. You owe it to yourself to at least test ride it. I know that most people will focus on the Triumphs and such when they think of a naked sport bike, but yeah, consider riding this motorcycle. Well, I hope you enjoyed this test ride. Beautiful day for it today. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, liking it. Consider subscribing to the channel, it really does help. Consider hitting that notification bell so that YouTube lets you know when we have new videos coming out. We'll have some more test rides this year. We got a trip down the Pacific Coast Highway. And until the next video, remember to keep that right hand cranked and the rubber side down.